Hi, I'm Lanisha Robinson, your host for Career and Technical Education, hashtag BuildAFuture. Our goal is to show a variety of the career and technical education CTE programs we have within St. Lucie Public Schools. These programs are leading the way directly into the workforce for many of our students. Students are earning industry certifications, participating in state and national competitions from the skills learned directly from their CTE classroom. We at St. Lucie Public Schools take pride in knowing our CTE students are actively closing the skills gap needed in our community. In this episode of Career and Technical Education, hashtag BuildAFuture, you will meet Mr. Brian Brown from Port St. Lucie High School and learn how these students are getting the leading edge. All right, so you all are from Port St. Lucie High School with the Automotive and Repair Academy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you go around the room and introduce yourselves for us, please? We'll start over here. Mr. Brown.
I'm Brian Brown, the automotive instructor at Port St. Lucie High School.
Okay.
Ivan Covarrubias, automotive.
Dakota Foster, student at Port St. Lucie High School.
Okay. All right, so welcome. Thank you for being with us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
All right, so basically, Mr. Brown, how long have you been a teacher so far?
This is my first year teaching.
Wow.
Very first year.
Okay, so something that that is different and is unique for you is that you came from, as you originally started as a student, correct, in the
Yes,
program?
I was a student in the same program. I graduated many years ago. Mr. Rosberry was my automotive instructor. He was there 26 years, so I'm filling his shoes now.
Wow. Okay. But as a student, were you ever involved in any extracurricular activities?
Yes,
or?
actually, when I was a student there, Mr. Rosberry got me involved with VICA, which is Vocational Industrial Clubs of America, which is now SkillsUSA. And I head up the chapter there at the high school for SkillsUSA now.
Okay. Very well. All right. Can you tell us some educational background about yourself?
I worked retail for most of my career. I did 9 years with Winn-Dixie, 7 years with Tires Plus. I have a bachelor's degree from Indian River State College in organizational management.
Okay. And what do you do to stay current in the field? Because as we know, with you all being as students, you want that up-to-date information. So what do you do to make sure that you're providing that up-to-date information for your kids?
There's always trainings that we can attend and just stay current with current events, and there's some different automotive blogs and things that we read just to stay current on those things.
Okay. All right. And why is it important, if you can share with our viewing audience, like our future parents, or maybe parents are thinking about, hey, my son or daughter wants to go into this academy, what's the important things that you want to emphasize to them about the academy?
Some of the important things to note is that there's hands-on. We're a hands-on academy. So, like, they get that skill. If they can learn that skill and do that thing with their hands, then that's something that can never be taken away from them. That's something that they'll have for the rest of their life.
Okay. All right. So, as students in the academy, all right, so we have Dakota and Ivan.
Yes.
Can you share with us what kind of those hands-on experience that we would see if we were to shadow one of you for today?
Well, sometimes we would go around doing oil changes, changing out brakes, like learning electrical things with the cars and stuff. Just simple things like that, trying to get to learn slowly.
Yeah. Then every once in a while we get the one project that takes, more than one day. Usually oil changes take, 20, 30 minutes, and then you have engine mounts. We're currently doing a set of heads on a Ford Ranger, things like that take more than one day or take more time than a normal maintenance object.
Okay. And why is that important for you all to have that skill? Why is it important for you all to even practice those skills in your classroom?
Well, for me, it's important because later on in life, I would like to personally have, experience and stuff like that, because, it's always a must in the later on life like that. You always have to, learn things like that. It's always helpful, and, it's like that.
Yeah, what is it for me? My plan for later in life is to go into automotive performance, so more aftermarket than just fixing cars. And the skills now are teaching me, like, I can just add upon those instead of having to learn the basics and then going on. I can have, like, experience doing a lot of the basics, and then I can focus on, aftermarket parts and engine rebuilding and stuff like that.
So what's the most exciting, out of all the hands-on experience that you all have had in your classroom, what's the most exciting piece of that, or what's the most exciting time that you can, think about?
It would have to be, there's 3 different courses in automotive. It would have to be course 3. You get more hands-on. You don't have to always sit there on the computer reading, and you just have more hands-on, and that's most exciting for me.
Yeah, it's most exciting for me too. It's just actually working on the cars. Like, you read about how to do it, and then working on the cars and actually, like, seeing how to fix it and how it works and everything else is the most exciting for me.
Okay. So, Mr. Brown, why is it important for your students to have this hands-on experience? For example, when they go out in the work world and they're actually working out there, why is that important? You as well, coming as a student, and then you worked in industry, then you came back as a teacher. So what do you think is the most important thing for your students to know and take away from this?
Well, basically, we want to teach them, the ins and outs of an automobile, things that they can actually physically do with their hands, they can learn. Because once you learn that skill, that's something that nobody can ever take away from any of these students once they learn that skill. And currently there's actually a shortage of employees in these hands-on skills, because a lot of the individuals are retiring and there's not a lot of people to take their place. So that's really a big push right now, is to get these kids the hands-on skills and some of the soft skills that they need in order to work in the industry.
Okay, so you just mentioned soft skills. What exactly are soft skills? If you can explain to our audience what
Sure.
those are.
The soft skills are more of the people skills, learning how to talk to people, learning how to work together as a group, teamwork, things like that they can do, and just be part of an overall group, and just give their input without feeling, that they're not important in the group.
So do you all feel like that as well, working on those soft skills and those skills needed for the work world? What do you all think about that?
It's more, what is it? With this course, you also learn how to, instead of just working on cars, you learn how to work with other people working on cars. So bigger jobs might, instead of taking one person for an oil change, for engine mounts it might take 2 or 3 people, or for heads it might take 4 or 5, just so everybody gets to learn how to do it and everybody is working on their own piece of it.
Okay, all right.
Same thing. You just learn how to work with people. Sometimes let's say something goes wrong, you get a little angry sometimes. You learn how to deal with it, those soft skills.
So do you all think those skills are actually preparing you for when you graduate from high school?
Oh, yes,
Yes?
of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right, so Mr. Brown, how many classes will it take for these students to actually graduate and actually earn entry certification? But how many courses does it take to actually complete the academy as a whole?
Well, it's a 3-year program. There's 3 levels. You have your entry level, which is combined into 1 and 2. And then we have a little bit of hands-on and some computer, which is 2 and 3, level 2 and 3. And then when we get to level 5 and 6, the last levels, that's what we try to do, mostly hands-on things with the students, and teach them how to properly diagnose and how to properly fix things.
Okay, and at what level are students actually earning entry certifications? And if you don't mind, kind of explaining to us what exactly are entry certifications?
Well, currently in automotive, we have an industry certification called the FADA, or Florida Automobile Dealers Association. Both Ivan and Dakota are currently certified with them. So they've taken a 120 question test, and they've passed that test, and now they have a certificate that they can take with them to any dealer in the state of Florida and start as an entry-level lube technician, with any dealer in the state of Florida.
Wow, nice. So what exactly would you all want to do with your entry certification that you've earned?
Well, for me, I would like to go a little higher, and because my future job would be a mechanical engineer, that's what I'm shooting for. But I would like to go more up in category.
For mine, I'd like to start out as, lube technician and then learn how dealerships, like the internals, work as, lube technicians, and higher level technicians work on cars, and then work my way up to a higher end job, hopefully at like an independent workshop or something like that.
Okay. All right, thank you. So what would you say as students, if a student was watching the show right now and they want to find out more information about the automotive program, as a student, and you had to have this one-on-one conversation with them, and they were kind of maybe thinking about the program, weren't sure, what would you say to them?
Well, I would tell them, give the program a try, go in, see how it is, see how things work. If you like it, stay in it. If you don't, it's it's not for everybody, but that's what I would tell them.
All right.
Yeah, because I'd say the same thing, because the first year is more learning safety items around the shop, how certain tools work, certain parts of the car work, and at the end of year one, you start going into the shop and doing oil changes, tire rotations, things like that, and then once you start year two is when you start actually consistently going out into the shop, and you can start in groups learning how to do things, and then you split off into your own doing, whatever you want to more strengthen your skills in certain areas.
All right, well, thank you. All right, so Mr. Brown, all right, I see we have two, young men up here, but what about our females? Do we have any girls or young ladies in your program?
Yes, we definitely do, and a lot of times those girls are a lot more meticulous and actually more hands-on, and they really pick up very well. So a lot of times they outshine the boys.
Really? Okay, and then can you also share with us some success stories of students? You can even share with us your own story as well.
Sure. I was in the program myself, and like I said, if it hadn't been for our old instructor, Mr. Rosberry, I wouldn't be a teacher today. I wouldn't have got interested in cars. I wouldn't be here today without him teaching me what I needed to know, and basically ignite that enthusiasm for automobiles. That I always liked cars, but I didn't know well, what am I going to do with that?
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely was a very big factor in that, and a very big mentor to me too. That's without him, I wouldn't be here right now doing this show with you.
Okay. And I know Mr. Rosberry was a big push, and also you are as well, for volunteering on and off campus, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can you share with us some information regarding, with you all as students, have you all volunteered on or off campus before? Or through your program?
Well, me personally, no, but I have worked with automotive cars outside of school, done jobs that have to do with automotive.
Okay. So you're basically taking what you've learned in the classroom and actually be able to apply it to where you actually do some working on those skills actually outside the classroom as well.
Correct.
Okay. And then Dakota, do you volunteer or do anything outside the classroom?
I volunteer more animal shelters wise, but automotive, it's more just like driveway type mechanics, oil changes, stuff like that. I do in my driveway or friends' driveways a lot.
Okay. So, Mr. Brown, with your other students, and with your program, are you a big pusher for volunteering and, being more focused on the community and on your campus?
Yes, actually, currently with our SkillsUSA project, we're undertaking a couple of projects around the school, doing a beautification project, and we're going to have a work day that we would invite teachers to bring their cars in, and we will provide the labor to them at no charge. So that's part of our Chapter of Excellence program with SkillsUSA that we're working towards to make that happen.
Nice. All right, and what exactly is SkillsUSA?
SkillsUSA is an organization that teaches the students those soft skills that we talked about earlier, that teaches the teamwork, the camaraderie, how to work together, without any conflict or anything like that. So it's really good for the students, and I get very positive feedback from all of them who are involved with it.
Okay, so SkillsUSA is a career and technical student organization, all right, and you all are taking it to the next level where these students are actually taking what they learned in the classroom and actually applying it in a real world setting.
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
And then now, have you all earned any scholarships, any awards from being a part of SkillsUSA?
Well, we're working towards, like I said earlier, our Distinguished Chapter of Excellence, which is like a Tier 2. So this is my first year involved with SkillsUSA as the, director for the campus there, as an advisor. So there's great things to come.
Now, you all travel with SkillsUSA, correct?
Yes, we do.
So where are you all going? Are you going anywhere anytime soon?
In April, we're actually going to be going to Pensacola. I'm taking 3 students with me who were picked to do some volunteering, and they have a full paid trip, 6 days in Pensacola, and they will be having a lot of fun, I'm sure.
And then once the state competition's over with and that level's over with, do you all go advance any further than that? Or?
Yes, actually, if they are picked again for the Courtesy Corps, which is the behind-the-scenes kind of aspect of setting up the event, taking it down, things like that, they actually have a chance to go to Kentucky. They actually did last year. They went to Kentucky, again, on a full-paid trip. So I had the 3 of them who went to Louisville, Kentucky. And from what they have told me, I didn't get a chance to go, but they did have a blast.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your students actually have an opportunity to not only, be a part of SkillsUSA, but they're actually able to get out of our community and see what else is out there as well.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you all familiar with SkillsUSA, and do you know your peers, or do you have anything you want to add to that?
Well, yes, I'm familiar with SkillsUSA. What I know about it is it's like learning, let me think. I don't know, like how to communicate with other people, how to work with people, and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, what is it? I've been on 2 SkillsUSA trips so far, and it's a lot of team building and a lot of creative ideas and activities to learn how to work together with people that you've never met before. So you're not just with people from the school. You get put randomly spread out with groups from all over Florida to do certain activities.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, Mr. Brown, do you all have any advisory councils in place, or where people can come in from the workforce and saying, this is what's going on?
Yes, actually we do. We have an advisory committee that we meet with. We try to meet 4 times a year, which is people in the industry who come into our shop, view our facilities, just to make sure that we are current and up to date on the different technologies and the equipment that we actually use to teach the students with, that it's something that they're actually using in the field.
Okay. Now, can you give us some enlighten us a little bit, like what sort of businesses are out there or companies that are out there that are actually working with your program?
Right now we currently have many auto parts stores, the people who are out there, taking the information over the phones and supplying the parts to us. We have an individual from Tires Plus who's on our committee, and then there's also some retired teachers who are on our committee with us.
Nice,
Yes.
nice. All right, and then now let's take a step back. Let's talk about a little bit more about college credits. Do your students earn college credits or any, clock hours towards, let's say they want to move to the next level after graduation of high school?
Yes, actually we have an articulation agreement with the schools. Our students can actually earn 3 college credits and 150 clock hours towards their degree if they pursue a degree in automotive.
Okay. And then with Dakota and Ivan, you both are planning on using that as well, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what your plans are for post high school? Like what colleges you're looking at, what universities, or what programs to study?
Well, I'm personally looking towards going to maybe UCF or FSU. They got very good automotive programs over there, so
Okay.
that's what I've been looking for.
Currently, I'm at IRSC, going towards my associate's degree for automotive management technology, and I have about a year and a couple months left until I get that.
Okay. All right. And as students, what is your viewpoint, your perspective on why this program, the automotive program at Port St. Lucie High School, why is it important to have this for students starting so early versus waiting until college?
Well, once you get into college, you don't come in there with not knowing anything. So you get to learn things beforehand and come in with some kind of experience into college.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the same thing he said. You get an advantage over other people where you come in knowing how to do certain things, so you can focus on like later end courses.
Okay. All right, so if you can share with us one more time, Mr. Brown, why is this program vital to our community?
Well, the automotive industry as a whole, again, we were talking about the shortage of the skilled labor force. It's not only in automotive, it's in plumbing, it's in electrical. It's basically all the hands-on skills that are out there, and the rate that the people are retiring, and then the rate that the people we have to replace the people who are retiring, there's definitely a gap there. So that's why it's important that we teach these young men and women these skills so they can actually make a livable wage, especially right out of high school. You know, with 12 months of training, we can have individuals starting out making $20 an hour in the industry. So they have a livable wage.
Nice. All right, and then can you explain to us as well, let's say if a parent's like, you know what other schools out there have an automotive program? Is it just at Port St. Lucie High School? You know, where else is it offered?
Well, currently we have it at Port St. Lucie High School, and then over at Central, Mr. Hoyos has his program over there. So in St. Lucie County, those two schools have the automotive technology program.
Okay. And if a parent or someone from the community wants to find out more information about Port St. Lucie High School's automotive program, is there like a website or a location that they can go to find more information?
Yes, there's a website, and you can also call the school directly, and they'll give you my extension, and you can talk to me direct.
Okay. All right, so as we prepare to close, can you share with us one more time, how many college credits can students earn once they graduate from Port St. Lucie High School's automotive program?
They can earn 3 college credits and 150 clock hours towards their degree.
Okay, and how many through the articulation agreement as well with college credits, but also industry certifications. How many industry certifications do you all earn as well?
Well, my goal is to get them up to 2 industry certifications. Currently, we have these guys already industry certified, and my goal is by the end of this school year to have them certified with an ASE certification as well.
Okay.
So they'll have 2.
Wow, nice. So, all right, so as we're preparing to close, do you all have any additional remarks you want to share with our viewing audience as a student perspective?
No, not really.
All right, okay. All right, Mr. Brown?
One thing I can just tell you, if you're interested in automotive, give it a try. If you don't like it, it's not for everybody, and we get that. But you wouldn't know unless you try. Okay. So definitely, if you have any interest in automotive or carpentry or any hands-on skill, you know, you wouldn't know until you try. So
right.
Definitely give it a shot.
All right, and it's important for everyone to know that girls can get involved too as well,
yes,
right?
we need girls, so please.
All right, thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you.